Welcome to our podcast, Pushing Out Prevention, a Labor of Love. Today, episode 3, we're going to be talking about how to not shove it under the rug. So, with that,
what do we as parents shove under the rug?
Well, I think a lot of times we don't want to recognize that our kids have a problem, right? And I think right now, when we're working with youth, we see a lot of anxiety in kids.
That's for sure.
And I think they have so much on them, pressures to do the right thing. They've got, pressures to do drugs or alcohol. They've got the bullying on social media and physical bullying. There's just a gamut of things. And I think for parents, you need to pay attention, don't shove it under the rug. Pay attention to your child's feelings and, be attentive and always remind them of their purpose in life too, and listen and validate when they have true concerns. Don't you agree?
Oh, yeah. I think you have to confront the issues. Sometimes it's easy to just want to let it slide and hope it goes away, but it doesn't, because you've got a human being there that's just percolating all kinds of thoughts in their brain. And so having a good conversation with your child, I think, is so important. And then keeping that line of communication open so that they feel comfortable when they do have a problem to come to you. Anxiety is huge. It's not only the problems in life, it can be all the extra things that they have to do to accomplish their goals. And I think letting them know that it's okay not to be perfect. Sometimes, having those goals, setting that bar high is good, but it's also, they can take that in little chunks instead of thinking about it all at once.
Yeah, and sometimes they make wrong choices that lead to mistakes, and that's all right. That's all part of growing up. And if we come down hard on them over something that we should really be nurturing them on and paying attention to that mistake, and how can we look at that mistake and make it a positive in their life?
Right.
Because it is a part of growing up.
It is.
Yeah.
Messing up.
Yes.
And I think too, when we're talking with them, we need to stay neutral, but we also need to be compassionate. We need to really listen to their concerns. But I think also, to help them out, we should reduce chaos at home. Make sure they're getting a healthy meal and you're sitting down for family time. And having a routine in the family helps. And like we've talked about in other podcasts, they do want rules. They do need that structure.
Yeah.
And I think if you can't talk to your child and you really see them getting deeper into maybe a depressive state with anxiety, it's okay to talk to somebody too.
Yeah.
Other than a parent, if you feel like they need to reach out and get them some therapy, I think that's fine.
Yes. And I go back to our session with our teen court participants that have come to see us for Rise Up. And I think when they do that, when they're coming to us, we're trying to create in them some sense of who they are, and doing something wrong or causing trouble in their life is not necessarily a sentence that they'll live out the rest of their life. We want them to know that, it wasn't the right thing to do, but that's not who you are. And you need to try to figure out how to do better in life. And I think that the sessions that we do in Rise Up are important to helping the youth see that. I mean, they're learning about their personalities. We just did that this week.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I think
because in life you're going to be working with
all kinds of different people,
personalities, and you're going to need to, how to react to the different personalities. Well, even when we talked about, kids are working now too. We've got a few that have jobs, and they told us about the different personalities and how you react.
You have to get along, sometimes you have to not think that everybody's like you or is going to do the same things you like to do. And so just giving them that perspective, I think, is helpful. We also have, talked about anger. I think anger is a human response that everybody goes through. We all go through that. But how do you do it in a healthy way? And yeah, you might explode and feel sorry that you did it, but you learn from that mistake and you don't do it again, or you try to find healthier alternatives to your anger.
Yeah, and I know we talked a little bit about deep breathing, or just stopping to take a moment before you react.
Yes.
I think that's huge. And we did talk about the importance of, making sure they have sleep, and staying positive too, even positive affirmations.
Yeah.
Talking about positive things and gratitude in their life too,
Right.
is helpful. When we talk about anxiety, going back with that though, some of the red flags, I mean, if you see your child being depressed or angry, if they've got difficulty concentrating, I can remember I kind of had some anxiety in school, having a tummy ache, not wanting to go to school. I mean, these are always signs, or maybe they're avoiding going out socially too. So I think as parents, we need to look at that and not shove those signs under a rug, as we say.
Yes.
We keep saying this, shove it under a rug, but we need to really be open with communication with our child. And, sometimes as parents, it's hard to talk to our teens or our youth without getting angry too. You were talking about anger and what that does, and how we have to keep that under control when we're communicating. And I think sometimes parents get frustrated too. Have you ever been there? I have with my teens. It can be so frustrating.
Yeah.
And then I begin yelling, where I think if you need to just stay calm and listen first and react later.
Yes.
I think that's huge too.
Yeah, I think with all the programs that we offer here at Kosciuszko Cares, we work with a lot of the youth in the different programs to help them build resilience and gain that self-awareness. But we also provide some great tips and resources for parents. And some of these things that we're talking about today, we can bring to you in a parent cafe. If you're interested, reach out to us, either comment on our podcast, or you can reach out to us at our website at inspire-in.org, or, visit our Facebook page and send us a message on Messenger too. We'd love to hear from you, because parenting's hard and you need that support, and we're here for that.
Yeah, and I think one of the most important things to finish this up is not to be their friend. To realize you are the parent, and you want to be that good parent that listens, but yet you don't have to be their friend either. They need to respect you.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And I think when we are listening and we treat our teens with respect, they will talk to us, and we'll be able to get to the bottom of the situation and not throw it under the rug. Yep. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week with another tip from Kosciuszko Cares.